Greetings, BUSN 1305 Introduction to Business students. This is me. I'm your instructor, Dr. McGrory, and I thought I'd reach out to say hello and to welcome you to our class. This is our 2021 Spring FLEX2 term. So this class is half a semester, and it's actually about 6 weeks. So a regular semester is 15 weeks, a full semester. So this FLEX2 term is 6 weeks. And I thought to help us get started that I would reach out and that we could just briefly go over the schedule so that you feel confident and prepared. And I think that I'll answer some questions that are commonly asked questions by students. So I hope you find this video helpful. I thought I'd start off by looking at this schedule. Now, I've attached this to the email, and when our class starts, you'll also always have access to any handout type information like this inside of PAWS. And PAWS is what's known as our course management system, and you have access to it, to our course content as of your first day of our term. You'll be able to go out there and explore. So you'll notice on this schedule, which I like to print, and I keep a printed copy in front of me, you'll notice just a couple things. Throughout this schedule, I'm going to show you, look what I say here, absolute due dates by which you must complete the specified assignment. That's especially important in an accelerated class. So again, this is only 6 weeks, right? But also, I've provided a pacing guide to help you meet those absolute due dates. If you'll follow that pacing guide, I think you'll be very successful. This has been my experience with past classes, and I do teach a variety of different accelerated classes, so I think the pacing guide will really help you meet those absolute due dates. So once again, this is an accelerated fast track type class. It's only 6 weeks, so you need to do work every day. And not just a saying, but something that is really necessary to be successful. So check that, avoid missed assignments in that way. I always say to students, keep this schedule nearby and reference it frequently. And you'll see here it says, because I know I do, and I do. I'm constantly looking at the schedule saying, what is the class supposed to be doing today? What is done today? What grades need to go into the system? What's due tomorrow? So you'll be a step ahead if you're looking at that schedule and kind of, outpacing me by looking at that schedule. Common question, do we have to meet? Where do we meet? I don't understand. I don't know what room number we're supposed to go to. Well, that's because this class never meets in the classroom. Instead, we meet completely online. But the reason that gets confusing is because when we look at the schedule here in just a moment, you're going to see that there's kind of a pretend almost meeting date, because you'll have assignments due, and so it'll kind of feel like you have a meeting date. But that just is because if you pretend that class meets on a certain day and you have to get those assignments done by that certain day, that will help keep you in the rhythm of completing assignments for the class. Unfortunately, what happens to all of us, I've been an online student before, and when I say us, I really do mean us, is that out of sight, out of mind. And so we want to make sure that we have in our minds this regular meeting date, even though the class never meets. But it'll be a good pacing guide. The class is not self-paced. So sometimes when students get into an online class, and I understand this, you feel, and depending on different types of classes that you have taken, you may have had the experience where certain things are self-paced. This is not that. So we do have due dates. The assignments do have due dates, and what you need to do if you feel like you can't make a due date, you say, oh, I've got a math test on that exact same day, and I'm going to have to focus all my mental energies on that day on math. Okay, so back up your schedule a little bit within the week, and maybe instead of Tuesday, you need to do the assignment on Monday, or maybe instead of Monday, work week is busy for you, so maybe you need to do it Sunday. Sunday's a family and church day, maybe you need to do it Saturday. So put that schedule in place so that you're meeting those due dates and you're getting it done before the due date. Okay? Now, I do reserve the right to alter this schedule. It's not something that I am seeking to do. This year has been really interesting so far. And, let's just take the snow and ice storm that happened, seems like yesterday, but has been a couple weeks ago. And if there's widespread power outages and things like that, then, I might adjust the schedule. But if I do, I will announce those changes. Just make sure that you're taking note of it. I put it in emails, and you may want to jot it down so that you can see it, so that it's not hidden in the body of an email. All right, where does this class meet? Where are we supposed to go? It's entirely online. We're going to use two websites. This website, eLearn, that's called Pause. Our college calls that Pause. And that's where you'll get handouts like this one that we're looking at together. Where you're going to do a lot of your work, not all of your work, but a lot of your work is in Connect. And it's important that you are using both. What tends to happen is students start to get really deep into Connect, and you kind of forget that we got that Pause website over there. So make sure that you're looking at both of those. These are just tips for success. Now, highlighted in yellow, I like to send email to you in advance of the class just to address any concerns, any anxieties that you may have, to let you know you're in good hands. I hope you are. I feel like you are. And we're going to go through this, and you're going to be successful. If you just get in there, meet those absolute due dates, use the pacing guide, put the time in, you're going to be successful. And that's my goal for you, is for you to be successful. And so if you're thinking about that, and if you're nervous and you're one of the people who log in early, then first of all, you're like me. But know that you won't see any work. You won't actually be able to see like this handout or even get into Connect or any of those things until the term starts. And for our college, that's Monday, March 22nd. Okay. Now, sometimes people look at this first page and they go, oh, this is just a really long document and I'm not going to read it. And if you do that, you will miss the actual schedule. Okay, so this is the schedule. Week 1 of 6. So 6 weeks is over, right? So you got to hit the ground running is all that means. And on this left-hand side, what you're going to see is the absolute due dates. And on this right-hand side, you see that pacing guide. So don't get confused that you have, oh my goodness, a ton of work. I'm just trying to help you pace through it. So if you're the kind of person who says, I'm not going to follow that pacing guide and I'm just going to work it out however, okay, you've got your schedule that you're putting into place, and you know that you have an obligation, or the consequence of a 0 grade when you miss that due date, not an extension, a 0 if you miss those absolute due dates. So if you're the person who looks more at the absolute due dates, then the first thing that you'll see is that you have a pause quiz. Okay, it's very quick. This one, you'll never have a more easy quiz than this attendance quiz. It's like raising your hand in class and saying, I'm here. But the way that you're going to do that is you're going to take this quiz in pause, this attendance quiz. You have 3 of these, and they're easy points. They're required, and they're really quick and easy points. So you're going to do that. When are you going to do it by? Definitely, absolutely. Hard due date, Sunday, March 28th. You're also going to introduce yourself in the pause discussion. Meet your classmates. They might be a good resource for you as you go through. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to create your Connect username. Okay, now there's very specific instructions. I always tell students you must start at our specific class website. More and more students don't listen to that, and they say, I'm just going to log into Connect because I've taken other classes that have used Connect. I know all about it, and I'm going to log in. And then what happens is you join the wrong section, or at least you try to, and you get knocked out of that, especially if it's one of my sections. I'll just knock you out, because you didn't pay for that class, you paid for this class, and then you're trying to, you're getting discombobulated, and it leads to anxiety and to upset. So make sure when you're creating this Connect username that you do follow the instructions that are on a handout, and handouts are in pause. Okay, where is pause? Well, eLearn. It's this eLearn website. But you're going to do fine with that. And, this is not a punitive thing. So if you get confused, you're going to talk to me, right? You're going to say, I didn't see this, or where's that instruction? And you're going to figure it out. Okay, you really are. It just takes looking and kind of calming and navigating around a little bit. Okay. If you are concerned that you have not paid for your Connect access, do not be concerned, and I will tell you why, because you already did. When you enrolled into the class, it was automatically charged to you, and so that's when you paid for it. All right, so do not worry at all. First of all, you do not need to use any kind of free trial. You don't need that at all. And for Connect, you don't even need an access code. You're going to create your username and it's going to go right on in. Now, little heads up on this, when I said follow the instructions, some of the common mistakes that students make is they use a name that they are called or that they go by rather than the name that is on the college roster. And that, you will see on the syllabus, is kind of a no-no. If your name is, I don't know, Mary Smith, but all your friends call you Ann, and you got divorced and you like to be called by your maiden name, which is Jones, and so you registered into Connect as Ann Jones. Well, I don't have an Ann Jones on my roster. What I have on my roster is Mary Smith, and so what I'll do is I'll end up knocking you out. Okay, so don't put yourself through the stress. Make sure you are using the name that's on the college roster. If you don't like the name that's on the college roster, get with the records office and get it changed. That's all. That way you'll be right on your diploma and all those good things as well. So go ahead and get that taken care of. But you'll see we have detailed instructions on this. This is just to let you know this is a schedule. This is not the how-to. This is just the schedule. So I'm just telling you what's coming down the pipeline. Now, those things, these three things will be done very quickly. You'll be able to knock those out very quickly. So don't put it off. Go ahead and get those done, because where you need to focus your time is on your chapter assignments. And you'll have 3 assignments for chapter 1 and you'll have 3 assignments for chapter 2. Accelerated class, right? Only 6 weeks. So you're going to have to pace yourself and get going on those. All right, so here in comparison on the right hand side of your screen is the pacing guide, and the pacing guide is going to help you feel comfortable. I'm just telling you, it's going to answer some of these questions before it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're stressed out. So this is kind of the way to approach it. Start out the first day of our class and look at the syllabus. Go through it. I'm going to briefly show it to you. I'm not going to go through it in this video, but I'm going to show it to you. Take a moment, look at that, make sure you're comfortable with it. The schedule, and we're looking at that a little bit now, but I'm not going to go through all the pages. I'm getting you started on it, so that way you just continue on looking at the schedule. And there's the Connect registration. Notice I even try to give you a little bit more detail over here. You've already paid for it, so don't worry, that kind of thing. Why not go into pause and start looking around for those handouts? Just, relaxed before you're stressed out about anything. Look around in pause. Now don't forget, you're not going to see anything if you log in before the class starts. You have to wait until the term officially begins with the college. Then, for Connect as well as for pause, that's when you're going to be able to get in there and see some things. So take that first day just to look around a little bit. While you're in there, you can go ahead and take that first attendance quiz. You're going to find that that's just really going to take you a second to do. Hey, why not go ahead and introduce yourself as well, right? Okay, then, so what should you do the next day? Well, I don't usually do this, but I repeat it just in case you didn't get it all done on Monday. Make sure you've knocked out that first attendance quiz and pause, and make sure you've introduced yourself. But what I really want you to be doing by Tuesday is your Chapter 1 assignments. And this is the type of assignment you're going to do. Learn Smart, video quiz, homework. Okay? 3 assignments. Learn Smarts, if you've ever used those before, it's interactive reading, and it takes a little time because, if you're going to read however many pages, I don't know, if a chapter is 10 pages or 20 pages, it might take some time, right? So make some time for that. I think you'll like the video quiz. They're business cases, and you get to see behind the scenes a little bit. Those are nice. And the homework quizzes are typically interactive, kind of drag and drop type activities, so I think you'll like those. Make some time so that you can go in there and get your best grade. Knock out Chapter 1, then what are you going to do the next day? On Wednesday, you're going to knock out Chapter 2. So you're just moving right through. Now, let's just say things didn't go as well as you had hoped. That Chapter 1 grade, you just didn't, that Learn Smart was new to you. took a little longer. You actually couldn't get to it on, finish it on Tuesday. It took you until Wednesday. I've put just a little padding in here for multiple reasons. I give you multiple attempts on this homework. So if you didn't, and you'll read all about this in the syllabus, if you didn't get the grade that you wanted, Thursday is that overflow day where you can get back in there. Maybe you had to work on Tuesday. Maybe you had a family need on Tuesday. Okay, so there's a little wiggle room in this schedule, but if you're looking at it every day and you're looking at what needs to be done, then you are going to make it by this absolute due date. See how this works? Now, I'm not going to go through the whole schedule, but just to peek ahead at the week number 2, what's that? That's like you're a third the way through by the time, right? I mean, you're just going to knock this out. And I just noticed an error. I'm so sorry. I just noticed when I looked up here, it says Winter 1. This should not say Winter 1. It should say FLEX2. So I apologize, but this is the correct schedule. Again, you've got a Sunday due date. Now, what do you have once again? You have once again an attendance quiz. Remember, you have 3 of these, so keep looking. I need for you to tell me that you're still in the class, that you're still working. Now, what do you have to do? Well, this first week of class, you had 2 chapters due, but you had some setup, and I gave you some time for that. Your syllabus and your schedule and getting into Connect and getting into Pause. Well, in week 2, you've got 3 chapters. So make sure, you're putting the time in for that. And you can see I'm having you do a chapter a day, but I've put just a little bit of wiggle room in there. So if something doesn't work, you have just a little overflow. But just think about this. What if you didn't do anything Monday? You didn't do anything Tuesday? Well, you know what lies ahead, right? What if you don't do anything all week? You say, you know what? I'm going to save it and I'm going to do it all Sunday. You're going to be tired. Oh, you cannot understand how tired. You're going to be sick. Your brain's just going to say, I'm not going to absorb anymore. That's it. Then frustration sets in. Then it's 11:56 and you are upset saying the clocks are different on the system and you're emailing me at 2 in the morning. Reopen it. But what does this say? Does it say if you don't meet the due date, just email for an extension? It does not say that, and the syllabus does not say that. So when we talk about absolute due dates, this is about planning, and this is a business skill, because when we're going to learn about management, we say there's 4 functions to management. Planning is the first function. Organizing is the second function. Leading, and then controlling. Okay, so that means you got to start developing that skill if you're a last minute person. And if you tell me you got, man, I've got this busy life, you just don't understand how much stuff I have going on. That is when you need a plan and a schedule to be organized with a calendar. That's when you need that even more than ever. Put dates into your cell phone. Put an appointment with yourself. I have a meeting with myself on Monday. It's going to take me, it's a 2-hour meeting, and during that 2-hour meeting, I'm going to work on these assignments on Chapter 3. That way you're going to get that done and knock it out, all right? All right, keep on going. Again, I'm not going to go through this. This would be your 3rd attendance quiz, but you see the pace of this class, and you're just going to keep on going. You'll see tests in there. I've got, when your test is coming. So you'll see that. How many tests, how many points, how many assignments. That's syllabus stuff. That's syllabus stuff. This is what is my pacing, what is my schedule that I have to meet. All right? And before you know it, you're going to be at week 6, and I mean, you'll be a success if you followed a good, organized, and planned, carefully planned schedule. You're going to do just fine. And then it'll be time for the summer break. Won't that be awesome? Excellent. Okay, so I wanted to that's really what I wanted to do today, is I wanted to show you the schedule. I will also attach to the email our syllabus so that you can go ahead and start looking at that, and just give yourself that moment to go through it. Some of it's pretty routine stuff. If you want to know, what do I need to do about the book? Well, you've already paid for it. You've already got it. It's an ebook, and it's going to be available to you on the first day of the term, which is the 22nd, March 22nd. So it's going to be there for you. You're going to have the right access. You're going to have the right edition. No problem. Don't worry about rentals, because they wouldn't work anyway. Okay, so you take your time, read through the syllabus. Syllabus again has all these points, and you can read through that. What does it take for me to get a grade? How do I calculate my grade? What about those attendance quizzes? Tell me more, right? Detailed explanation of assignments. Tell me more. Didn't understand the Learn Smart. How many attempts did I get? Look at that word right there. Ooh. Okay, until what though? Prior to the due date. Before the due date. So you can go through, read this. Here's information about the video quiz. How is my grade calculated there? What about the homework? You know, if I do it more than once, am I penalized? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, all that good information is just right in there. Test, what do I need to know about the test? What if I have a tech problem? I can't get into Connect. What do I do? Might have some information there, right? Just kind of standard stuff. Okay, again, I reserve the right to update the syllabus if it's needed. COVID strikes and the semester changes and we have to change the points, you know, you understand. But do I anticipate a change? I don't. I have had cases where I do some math wrong, I hate to admit, and maybe I add up the points incorrectly, and so I might correct something. If I do that, I will let you know. I'm not trying to keep anything secret from you. You know, unfortunately, I'm human and I make mistakes sometimes, but we try not to do that because I don't want to. I don't want to make mistakes. I want it to be right for you and I want it to be the best for you. So that is definitely my goal. So I hope this helps. This was just a little bit to help get started. So again, Dr. McCrory just reaching out, saying hello, and saying I'm looking forward to a really great FLEX2 class. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll get a lot out of it. And hello. And I look forward to officially starting March 22nd. Thanks, folks.